I'm sorry, but we don't just hand out cash to anyone who walks in, the bank manager said. Her tone dipped in ice as she slid the withdrawal slip back. A few clerks snickered. Someone whispered, "She doesn't even look like she has that kind of money." 7 minutes from now, those laughs would die in their throats. If stories like this matter to you, hit subscribe right now. Turn on notifications and stick with me, because what happens next is pure goosebumps. The woman at the counter kept her chin level and her voice steady. Her name unknown to everyone in that lobby was Nova Ellis. 3 months earlier, Nova had become the first black woman to lead Halcyon Meridian Bank as CEO. She'd started at a teller window 25 years ago, climbed every rung, turned around failing branches, finished her MBA at night, and earned a reputation for fixing problems others couldn't see. Lately, the numbers have been screaming. Overall satisfaction scores looked fine until Nova broke them down. Certain branches, certain customers, same pattern, smiles for some, stone walls for others. So Nova did what she always did when the truth hid behind pretty charts. She went to find it. She arrived at the flagship branch at 9:15 a.m., dressed in a navy hoodie, dark slacks, no designer bag, just a quiet presence and a clear purpose. For 15 minutes she watched. A white woman in yoga gear? "Right this way, ma'am." And she was escorted to a desk. An elderly Asian couple. A silent finger to the waiting area. A Latina small business owner in work clothes. Extra questions, extra ID, extra time. It happened again and again. Like a song everyone knew the words to God at minute 37, Nova finally stepped to the quick service window. The teller page Nolan, early 20s, professional smile evaporating, looked at the amount on the slip and faltered. $115,000. That's a large withdrawal, Paige said, voice thinning. "It's within the daily limit for my account type," Nova answered, placing her bank card and ID neatly on the counter. Paige bit her lip and waved over the branch manager, Sloan Hart, 15-year veteran. Immaculate suit, confidence like polished brass. Sloan didn't introduce herself. She didn't ask Nova's name. She pinched the ID by its edges, as if it might smudge her. "This is significant," Sloan said. "May I ask what it's for?" She hadn't asked any other large transaction. Customer that morning. A few clerks drifted closer. One of them, Chloe, gave Nova a once-over, then whispered something that made another clerk snort. "I'm withdrawing my money," Nova replied evenly. "I provided ID and a card swipe." "Please process the transaction." Sloan's smile didn't reach her eyes. "It doesn't seem appropriate for someone like you. There's a check cashing place down the block that's better equipped for your needs." She nodded to the security camera as if it were on her side. "If you continue to create a disturbance, I'll have to ask Tara." She flicked 2 fingers at the security officer, also a woman hovering by the pillar, to escort you out. The temperature in the lobby seemed to drop. Paige's hands trembled on a stack of deposit slips. She didn't need to straighten. Chloe folded her arms, smirking. Customer stare, or pretended not to. Nova breathed in once. Slow, precise. Then she lifted her phone and stepped half a pace away, still in full view of every camera. "Good morning," she said, voice crisp. "Diane, it's Nova. I'm at the downtown flagship. Yes, right now." Sloan laughed softly, as if at a child. Bluffing in a game she didn't understand. "Diane who?" she asked, too loud. "Sweetheart, name-dropping won't..." The elevator chimed, every head turned. Diane, Halcyon Meridian's chief operating officer, strode through the glass doors with a presence that bent the room. Behind her, 2 senior compliance directors and an executive assistant moved fast, tablets already recording. The lobby fell silent except for the soft whir of a money counter. "Stop," Diane said. Not a shout, a command. Sloan's smile froze. "Ms. Reed, what a surprise. We were just... Do you know who this is?" Diane asked, motioning to Nova without looking away from Sloan. A beat. Confusion. Then the first fracture in Sloane's certainty. This, Diane said, her voice carrying to the back wall, is Nova Ellis, CEO of Halcyon Meridian Bank. The words hit like a dropped chandelier. Paige's breath hitched. Chloe's smirk vanished. Tara, the guard, lowered her hands. A customer's phone, mid-record, dipped in shock. Sloane's cheeks flushed an impossible red. On Diane's tablet, a split screen of the morning's footage played in real time. A white client's large withdrawal processed in 2 minutes with latte foam smiles. A black postal worker questioned for 10 over a simple check cash. The moment Sloane suggested a check cashing store to a woman withdrawing her own funds. Timestamps glowed like evidence tags. Differential treatment based on perceived race. Diane said evenly. Inconsistent application of verification policies. Hostile service environment. And a refusal to process a lawful request with valid ID. All documented. All within the last 40 minutes. Sloane tried to recover, smoothing her hair. We were simply exercising caution. There have been fraud attempts, and 3 large cash withdrawals by white clients were approved this morning with no additional questions. Diane cut in. All captured on camera. Nova hadn't moved. She didn't need to. When she finally spoke, her voice was calm enough to make people straighten. Sloane Hart, she said, looking the manager in the eye. You're terminated. Effective now. No raised voice. No drama. Just finality. Chloe, Nova continued. Your open mockery of a client is a violation of policy and a reflection of culture I will not tolerate. You're terminated. Tara, thank you for hesitating when you sensed something was wrong. Please, remain where you are. Paige, look at me. Paige's eyes filled. I knew it was wrong, she whispered. I didn't know how to stop it. That instinct matters, Nova said. You're on a 90-day probation with coaching. If you want to be better, I'll give you everything you need to succeed. Sloane found one last edge. You can't just walk in here and, I can, Nova said. And I did. She nodded to Tara. Please escort Ms. Hart and Ms. Kincaid to collect personal items. HR will follow up today. Tara, relieved, did as asked professional. Measured, humane. The lobby didn't cheer. It exhaled. The giant mission statement on the wall truss. Respect, integrity. Finally felt like it meant something. Nova turned to the remaining staff and the customers, who had quietly borne 100 tiny cuts in rooms like this. This is bigger than 2 people, she said. It's a system that taught you to smile. At some and question others. That changes now. Diane was already tapping out emergency directives, a temporary leadership pod assigned to the branch. Immediate audit of denial rates, wait times, and complaint patterns by demographic. Bonuses. Recalibrated to include equity metrics. A direct hotline posted at every window for clients to report biased treatment, with calls routed to her office. By noon, the board chair Evelyn Park had joined Nova and Diane for a brief press statement in the lobby itself. No spin, no euphemisms. We failed here today, Evelyn said, and we're fixing it in public. Cameras flashed. Phones buzzed. Word spread. 1 week later, training wasn't a video you clicked through. It was live, uncomfortable, practical. Branches ran blind. Tests with mystery shoppers of every background. Data dashboard showed not only sales but service fairness. And on every teller window, a small sign appeared. All customers deserve dignity, respect, and fair service. If your experience today falls short, call this number. It rings in the CEO's office. 6 months later, Nova showed up at branches without. Warning not to catch people failing, but to catch them doing the right thing. She saw Paige, now steady and confident, coaching a new hire through a large withdrawal the correct way. She saw Tara greeting a nervous teenager opening her first account with the same warmth she offered a platinum client. She saw relief on faces that had expected a wall and found a door. Back at the flagship, the marble floor still gleamed. The cameras still watched. But the feeling in the air was different, lighter, like a window had finally been cracked open, and somewhere in a quiet office, a woman who once pinched an ID, like it might stain her fingers, stared at a termination letter and understood the thing she'd never learned. Power is not the same as permission. If this story hit you, tap subscribe and share it with someone who needs to feel the goosebumps of justice.